Very good morning everyone. We have completed 4 topics based on the unit number 3 or related with the database connectivity. Number 1, shared intent. Number 2, shared preferences. Number 3, internal storage. Number 4, external storage. These 4 are the programs which we have already developed. I would like to recall that session once again, then I will start with the today's topic. Shared intent is basically used to transfer either text or images or videos to the user from one mobile to the another mobile, or we can say from one device to another device using any application like WhatsApp or any other application. Shared preferences is the concept in which you can store your content or file in the form of key and value, and that concept is known as XML file. So whatever the content you are going to place inside the shared preference file, the file extension should be .xml and it is in the form of key and value. The concept of internal storage and external storage gives you the facility to save your file in the text format. Only difference is what? By default, it provides you internal storage facility because it is available by default, and if you want to perform the file based on the external storage at that time, you need to set the permission in the manifest file. So that is the requirement if you want to work with the internal storage. Now let us start with our today's session, which is the most IMP based on practical session, database connectivity. This topic we are going to study in our today's session. So for that, what you need to do? You need to be present, mentally present in this session. Otherwise, you will not get whatever I will deliver from the session, right? So let us start with the connectivity. But before explaining the coding portion of this particular program, first of all I would like to show you that how the program is executed, so that based on that I can easily explain and you people can easily understand. So let me switch into the Android Studio and emulator. The connectivity program I have already copied in the Android Studio and I have run it onto the emulator. Over here you can see the designing portion of particular connectivity, and you can now predict the XML file for this particular program. This is the edit text widget. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So basically 4 edit text we have taken inside activity underscore main.xml. 2 is used to input through the user and 2 is used for the updation and deletion of the record. We have taken 5 buttons. First button is called save button, second is called read button, third is called update, fourth is called delete, and the last one is called total count. So from the button only you are able to get that this particular button is used for which purpose. Say for example, naturally when you click on read, at that time it will read all the content from the database and it will return the records which you have stored inside the database. Similarly, total count is used to count the total number of records available in the database. Update, delete and save, right? So save is used to insert record in the database, update is used to update record in the database, and using delete button you are able to delete the record into the database. Now the first question which raise in your mind, that as a backend, see this is the front end process, right, which performs in your which is performed in front of your eyes, but as a background, right, in with PHP we are going to use MySQL, or with .NET you use SQL Server, right? So in Android we are having SQLite as a database. I am going to repeat the word once again. With ASP.NET you use SQL Server, with PHP you use MyAdmin. Over here with Android we are going to use SQLite. It is a lightweight database, right? There is a limitation of Android itself only. You are having limited screen, you have limited storage facility in which you need to work. So if you want to develop such kind of application in which you want to store your data, at that time first of all you need to use SQLite database. So is that clear to everyone? As a backend we are going to use SQLite database. Now let me execute the following application. Let me enter name Radha. Let me enter phone number. Let me click on a save button. Record saved successfully. Now click on read button, it will display in toast ID 1. That means see, ID I have not taken over here. Even though it shows me ID, I am going to click on read button once again. You can see ID 1, name Radha and phone number. So read will display the content of database in the toast, and it will also take or fetch ID from the database. So we can say that ID is auto generated, right? Over here we have not inputted or inserted ID, right? But it is there in the database. That means ID column is auto generated. Now let me click on account button. Total records 1, right? Now let me input another data, Radha, then Krishna. Let me click on save button. I am going to click on read button once again. See, first record, second record, right? So read will display all the content or all the records which is there in the database. Now let me click on total count. So it will return total records as a 2. Now see, if I want to delete the content of particular record ID, at that time let me click on the insert delete record ID. This is a hint property of edit text, right, which will give me the hint that in this particular edit text what I need to insert. So let me insert delete ID number 2 and click on delete. Record deleted successfully. Now let me again click on read. to check whether the second record is deleted or not. So over here only one record, even you can check it with the total count, only one record. Now see what I need to do. Once again I need to enter data. Sudama. And save. Now again click on total count. Naturally it will return 2, but when you click on read button, at that time first record and third record. Why ID is assigned to 3? Because see, it is auto generated. So the second record we have already deleted, so it will not assign that ID to the new data, right? Now if you want to update the records, at that time what you need to do? You need to give the update ID, that is the record ID is 3. Then enter name. Instead of Sudama, I want to add Krishna, and instead of that phone number I want to add 9. Now you need to click on update button. When you click on read button, at that time third record is updated with the Krishna and all the numbers are 9. Let me click on total number of records, that is 2. So in this way execution is performed. Let me repeat once again that over here you need to enter the name, you need to enter phone number. When you enter both the things, you need to click on save button, click on read. When you click on read, it will fetch all the records which is there in the database and it print message on the toast. Similarly, when you click on a total count, it will calculate total number of records available in the database. Over here we have taken one delete edit text and one update edit text, through which you are able to delete records, you are able to update records. ID column we have taken auto generated, right? So when you delete any particular record in between the table, at that time when you again want to insert the data, at that time it will return the new number and it will not take the older number. And when you click on update button, at that time first of all you need to give name, new phone number and update record ID. That means which record you want to update, right? So in this way connectivity program is executed. Now let me switch to the coding portion to explain various files available with the connectivity program. So first of all, let me start with the designing portion, which I have already explained in this execution. I have taken one linear layout. Inside that there is one edit text which contains hint property as a enter name, enter phone number. There is one button called save, then read. See over here, save button, read button. Again see, this particular frame is based on the new linear layout. Inside that first of all update button, edit text, again linear layout, again delete button, again edit text for delete, and at last total count button. So basically in the design we have taken 5 buttons and 4 edit text. One edit text is used to enter name, then phone number, then update ID, update record ID and delete record ID. I have explained this because you can assume that in the main activity.java file we have created 4 objects of edit text and 5 objects of button, find view by ID and set on click listener. You people easily understand this particular code because lots of program we have developed based on this, right? So over here all the objects, we have created all the object based on different widgets, find view by ID, set on click listener, implements on click listener and override on click. Is that clear to everyone? Now see, when you work with a database connectivity, at that time there are four files you need to insert. Number 1, designing file, that is activity underscore main.xml. Second one is called main activity.java file, which is the default file, right, on which we perform the basic task or coding. The third one is called contact.java. Fourth one is called database handler, right? So these 3 are the Java files. Now see how you can insert or add Java file in the program. So for that you need to click on Java folder, you need to click on com.example.myapplication, which is the name of our package, right? Simply right click on this particular package, click on new and add Java class. Over here give name contact and database handler. Now see, be careful when you give the name of your file because it must not contain any space in between the file name. Over here database handler, you can see that there is no space in between database handler name, right? So you need to be aware while you give the name of your file. Now see, let me give the explanation about the file. Say for example, over here contact is declared. So what contact.java contains? See, contact.java contains the constructor regarding the same class. Now see, what is constructor? This concept we have already understand in the C++, right? Constructor is the same name as a class name. So what is the name of our class? Contact, right? So over here this is called default constructor, public contact, this is called default constructor because it does not contain any argument inside that. Now see, this is the second constructor which contains single argument. This is the third constructor which contains 2 argument. This is the fourth constructor which contains 3 argument. Now see, what you need to do, say for example, if in exam you need to create student table, right? At that time file name should be student instead of contact, right? Then what you need to do, based on the student you need to create the student constructor. Now see, all the constructor must be declared. Say for example, constructor with 1 argument, constructor with 2 arguments and constructor with 3 arguments. Now see, this portion is already there in C++, even though I am going to repeat it once again. This is the local variable of class and this is the variable which you have declared inside the argument. So don't get confused between ID1 and ID. The left hand side of variable is a part of class, and the right hand side of a variable is the variable which is declared inside the argument, right? So when you call contact constructor, at the end you pass 3 values, at that time this constructor will execute its code, right? Now see, this particular contact file also contains getter and setter methods. How getter and setter you can define? See, how many variable I have taken over here? 3 variable, that is ID, NM and PNO, right? So what you need to do, you need to create one public. What is the data type of ID variable? That is integer. So over here you need to define integer and get ID and return ID. So this is a getter method. Similarly, you need to set the value of ID variable. So for that I have created one set ID method. Inside that integer ID. So ID1 equals to ID. Similarly, you need to copy this code and paste it over here. Now for the second variable, you need to set again getter and setter method, right? So public string get nm, set nm, string nm, nm1, nm1, nm. So in this way you can replace. Similarly, again you need to copy this code and paste it over here. Public string get phone number, set phone number. We have declared phone number as a string variable, so as a return type you need to use string over here. So let me explain this code once again. First of all, in the designing portion, what we have taken, there is 4 edit text and 5 buttons. We create object of 5 buttons and 4 edit text, make it find view by ID for all the widget, set on click listener for all the buttons. Over here we need to implement on click listener and then on override on click event, right? Now see, let me click on contact.java. Contact.java is a file which I have created which contains the list of constructors as well as getter and setter method. Say for example, if you want to create student class over here, your file name should be student, and based on the student you need to replace the words, and over here instead of contact constructor you need to create student constructor. And how many variable I have declared over here? There are 3 variables. So what you need to keep in the mind, that there are 6 methods. One is called get ID, one is called set ID, get name, set name, get phone number, set phone number. And that means you need to define getter and setter method for individual variable. Say for example, if you have 10 variables declared over here, at that time compulsory you need to have 20 methods, 2 for each. One get and set method for each variable you need to define. So contact.java file is a collection of constructor as well as it is a list of getter and setter method for particular variable. Basically right now I have 3 variables which is declared over here. So I have 6 getter and setter methods, 3 get method, 3 set method. Over here, how can you define return type as an integer? Because my ID variable's data type is declared as an integer. Similarly, variable name and phone number is defined as a string data type. So over here I have declared it as a string. Right? So when I explain the program of connectivity, at that time I need to switch between these three files. So be careful, and if you it may create some confusion between the switching, right? So you need to be aware regarding such. Now see, database handler, right? Now see, database handler is our SQLite database. You might be might have predicted that there is one GUI based database. No, over here we do not have any GUI to create particular database. You need to create Java file to create a database. So I have taken the file name as a database handler.java. Now see, first of all, when you create any database, then at that time what is your requirement? First of all, you need to assign the name of database, then you need to create the table, then you need to define the column, then and then only you are able to insert the records. So what I have done, I have taken various variables for that. Say for example, DB version, right? That is a variable. So DB version is declared as 1. See, if you don't want to take variable over here, then you can directly pass values over the particular concept or over the particular method. But I don't want to take I want to take a variable over here. So dbname, that is the name of our database. So over here I have taken context manager. Then what is the name of table? That is contacts. So inside contact manager is a name of database. Inside that I have created one table called contacts. Say for example, again let me switch into the student table, right? So student manager is a name of database and students is a name of table over here. You can make a changes over here. Instead of contacts, you need to write students, and based on the student you need to pass, say for example, RNO, name, city, gender, birth date. In this way you can define the column. So key underscore ID, first ID is ID, then name, and then phone number, right? So over here in the handler file there are variables I have declared. Why? Because every time instead of contact manager I can use db underscore name. So in future when there is a changes in the name of database or in the name of table, at that time instead of switching to the various code, I just need to make a correction over here, and based on that correction it will be reflected into the code. Otherwise I need to find out it into the individual codes. So I don't want to do that, right? So for that I have declared variable over here. I will let me explain this code once again. The first variable is called db version. The version I have declared as a 1. Then db name. Name of my database is called contact manager. The name of table is contacts. Various columns I have declared over here with the K stands for key, right? So key underscore ID equals to ID, key underscore name equals to name, and key underscore phone number equals to phone underscore number. Now see, this is about database handler. Now see how these all three files are connected. So let me switch into main activity.java file. Over here, when activity is executed, at that time the first line is what? See, this code I have already explained. Similarly, on create event also I have already explained. So for the first time, when this program is executed, at that time I have created the object of database handler class. So database handler is declared over here, right? So db equals to new database handler into bracket this, right? This means current activity. So when you create object of any class, right, at that time default constructor of that class is executed. But remember, over here I have passed one argument, right? So it will execute this particular code. See, database handler, this is a constructor, and constructor is automatically executed when you create object of that particular class. Let me repeat this once again. In the main activity, database handler is a class and DB is the object of that class. When I create object of this particular class, at that time the default constructor of this class is executed, but we have passed one argument called this, and this is the object of context class. So see over here, one argument is there regarding content, right? So this particular code is executed when you create object of database handler class. Now what happens? What is written inside this particular code? Super context means current application, dbnm. What is the name of our database? Contact manager. So database is created. Right now these all are declared as a variable, right? But using this particular line, our database is created. Fourth argument, we passed it as a null, and last one is called DB version. The database version is what? 1, because for the first time I have created database contact manager. In future, when there is any changes in the APK, at that time you can change the version of your application, right? So let me repeat this code once again, as this is a very much important concept. First of all, in the main activity, we have created the object of database handler class. With that, I have passed this. This means current application, or you can also pass get application context over here. When you write this line, at that time it will switch into the database handler.java file. This particular code, public database handler, this is a parameterized constructor having one argument, is called context means current application. Name of our database is context manager. Fourth argument we have passed it with null, and the last argument is database version. For the first time we have created this, that's why I have passed it with the ones. And when you call this particular file, at that time naturally onCreate method is executed. So in the onCreate method, SQLite database DB, right? So string create table, this is a variable, create table, and C, create table query you need to know over here, otherwise you are not able to write the program properly. See, after create table there is one space. Why? Because see, in Oracle what happens? Create table employee. So after table keyword, if employee is directly attached, at that time it will generate error. So you can able to see over here, there is one space before integer also, there is one space before text also. So how this string will be executed? Let me explain this into the notepad file. See, what is our query in SQL? Create table, table name. What is the name of table? Context, right? Then what is the value of key ID? The value of key ID is what? I think so it is ID only. See over here. So it is replaced by ID, integer, primary key, auto increment. At the time of execution, I told you that our ID column is auto increment, right? Then what is the name of second column? That is name. We declared it as a text, again comma, then phone number, declared it as a text. So you can see over here that this is a query which we fired inside Oracle. So you need to learn how to form a query in Oracle, otherwise you will get error over here. So after table there is one space in between the name of table and keyword table. So over here, create table, then space, then name of table, into bracket. See, bracket is used over here, right? So into bracket, this is a syntax we need to follow, right? So after table there is a concatenation of bracket, then key ID, inside key ID, ID is there, again there is a space in between ID and integer, then primary key, auto increment, this is the keyword which we have used, then comma, then over here this string is completed. Now again what we need to do, we need to concat second column, that is key nm, again there is one space before the text data type, key phone number, again there is space between phone number and text, and at last our query is completed with the double quotation and bracket. So this bracket is completed over here. Now this is a variable we have created. If you don't want to take this variable, then you can directly copy this line and paste it over here. But what is my habit? I always take one variable and I form a query in that variable, right? So db.execute SQL. Now db is the object of SQLite database. So db.sql, execute SQL. Which query I want to execute? Create table. So what is written inside create table? This query. So now see, one more suggestion I want to give over here, that instead of typing whole program, what you need to do, you just need to first of all check this much code, right? Don't copy after this all code, right? You just need to write the code to create table. Why I am telling this? Because if there is any mistake in the create table, at that time you are not able to add contact, you are not able to update contact, right? That's why I am telling that first of all, one by one, first of all copy this code and write and paste it. Again in the on create, you need to copy and paste it over here. If table creation is successfully performed, then switch to the another code. And when this particular code is destroyed, at that time on upgrade event is there. On upgrade means what? When you upgrade, as I have told you, in future if you want to switch from the old version to new version, at that time on upgrade is there. So in on upgrade, what I have written, that when if there is any upgradation, at that time you need to execute the following statement. What I need to execute? Drop table if exist. This is a keywords which you need to write if you want to drop the table. That if there is table exist in the database, which table? T underscore nm. What is the name of our table? Context. So it will drop table context, right? And on create db, when DB is created, at that time this particular statement is executed. So on upgrade event will fire when you switch from old version to the new version. In that case only it will fire, right? So this is the basics about the connectivity. I am going to repeat this connectivity once again. In the designing, there are 4 edit text, 5 buttons. We have created object of 5 buttons and 4 edit text. Find view by ID, set on click listener, implement, override, and over here I have checked that button 1 is clicked, button 2 is clicked, button 3 is clicked, button 4 is clicked, or button 5 is clicked. Say for example button 1 is clicked, at that time button 1 stands for the inserting purpose. So that is called save, right? Button 2 is for reading purpose, button 3 is for updating purpose, button 4 is for deleting purpose, and button 5 returns the total number of records available in the database. Contact.java I have explained. Basically contact.java is a contact.java contains the collection of constructor as well as it contains getter and setter method for individual variables. The return type you can declare with the data type of particular variable. Similarly, instead of contact you want to take employee or student, at that time you need to replace contact with the student. Similarly, whatever the number of variable you have declared over here, you need to write getter and setter method regarding that, right? And based on that you need to create the constructor. This is the default constructor, this is constructor with 1 argument, this is constructor with 3 argument, and constructor with 2 argument. Now see, database handler is a file through which you can handle and create your database. My habit is such that I always take a variable to give the name of any database or any table or any column. So first variable I have declared as a database version because this is the first version of my database. Second is called database name, that is called contact manager. Third one is called the name of table, that is contacts. These 3 are the database column name. So K underscore ID, K stands for key and value, right? So key ID, key name, and key phone number. When you create the object of database handler file in main activity with 1 argument which is called this means the current application or get application context. So this particular code is executed, it creates the database with version number on current application. Factory we have set to the null. There are several arguments which we do not have the requirement, right? So that will be passed with the either null or 0. Now on create event is fired when this particular file is loaded. So after loading of this particular event is fired. Again I have declared one variable, string variable. The name of that variable is create table. Suppose you want to take str or str1, at that time you can define it, but from name I want to get that this particular variable is used for which purpose. That's why I have declared it as a create table. This is the most IMP thing which you need to understand. Why? Because if any syntactical error is there, at that time error will generate, the following code will generate error. So be careful while writing create table syntax. And db.execute SQL using this method, the following create table query is executed. On upgrade event is fired when you switch from old version to the new version. At that time this particular event is executed. In those case you need to drop the table. If it is available with the database, you need to give the name of table and on create db. So it will drop that particular table, right? So right now only the creation of database and creation of table portion, right? That portion we have completed. Designing portion also we have completed in the main activity.java file up to on click, right? We have completed. But how the insert operation is performed, how delete operation is performed, how update is performed, or how you can save the records, or how you can read and perform counting on the database, that we will see in our next video. I hope up till now whatever the thing I have delivered from here, it is easily cleared from your side, right? Again you can watch this video to clear remaining concept or those concept which is not properly cleared. So these three files we will continue in next session also, because right now only we have completed 50% of our connectivity. Thank you all.